Booktube, my name's Becca, and welcome to day 5 of Booktube-A-Thon. So let's just hop right into this video. What have I been reading? Yesterday, after I edited my video, I finished Bloody Mary number 5. It was good and great, and I can't wait to get to the rest of the series. I also ended up finishing The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. I only had about 30 pages left, so it wasn't really hard to finish that. This actually ended a lot better than I expected. I thought it was going to be dull, but when I went back to reading it, it actually picked up a lot towards the end, which was really nice, and I think I actually really enjoyed it. Okay, technically I also read another book. Technically. Let me give you some backstory. So the other day I entered a giveaway on Book Likes, which is like a book blogging, Goodreads kind of website. I'll link it down below if you want to go and check it out. Anyway, I won like a giveaway on there. It was for this book called For Friends Forest Adventure. It's like a children's book, and I'm like, I don't care, I'll read anything. Like, obviously children's books still need like reviews and stuff. So I got it, and I actually realized it was actually an ebook. So I got like the Audible download of it, and it was only 10 minutes long. So I listened to it while I was outside waiting for the bus. So I'm changing up my TBR a little bit here, and that's the book I've read outside now. I mean, I listened to it. I've seen some other people doing audiobooks for books they've read outside, like while they're walking around and stuff. So I'm like, you know what, that's a great idea. So I'm doing that now. So this brings my total to 4 books and that audiobook, which is exactly what I'm supposed to be on day 5. So technically, I don't even have to read today if I don't want to, but I'm going to because I have a final today in a few hours, and then after the final, I don't have to worry about anything for like 3 days. So I'm just going to be reading. So the challenge for today is called Class Reading List. Basically what you're supposed to do is create a class about anything and make a reading list for it. And then like the challenging part is to include 1 book on your TBR to do. The class I've chosen to create is Shipping 101. Basically, this class is all going to be about shipping and about different ships and about different like relationships characters can have in different books and different contexts. So this course is going to have 3 main units that we go through, but before we get to the units, the first book you're going to read coming into the class is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, because this is basically like the founder of romance, or at least the most well-known of this time period. It also set the standard for like the modern novel, so I think it'd be something really good to start with, and it's also an amazing book. So now we're going to get on to the units. Each unit you're going to read 3 books in it. So the first unit is going to be Love Triangles. Basically one of the biggest tropes ever in ships and relationships. So we're going to start out with like an atypical love triangle, like basically your basic thing ever, like guy A loves girl and then guy B loves girl, but girl can't decide who she wants to be with. And for this part of the unit, we're going to choose The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare, because Will, Jem, and Tessa is just, it's so basic love triangle, but it's also an amazing story too. I don't know how Cassandra Clare does it, but it's really amazing. So I think this would be a really good book to start with. And then we're going to hop right into another book that might not be a typical love triangle. The Love Interest by Cale Dietrich. This book is on my Booktube-A-Thon TBR, so this fulfills that part of the challenge. All I know about this book is that there's like 2 guys love a girl, and whoever doesn't get the girl dies or something. So it's not really a typical love triangle, I don't think. So definitely be fun to explore. And the next book in this love triangle unit is going to be something that is not a triangle. It's like this weird, I don't know, this weird polygon shaped thing. It's gonna be the relationships in the Throne of Glass series, because you have Selena and Kale and Dorian and Rowan and Manon and the other girl, I don't remember her name. You have all these different people, and it's just like, it's not a triangle. It's really this weird polygon shaped thing. But yeah, that would definitely be fun to explore how how that type of relationship plays out, but still kind of based on the love triangle aspect. So the next unit is going to be about another big trope, love at first sight. And for this one, I of course had to choose The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. I read this book a while ago and it was just really amazing, and yeah, it's pretty much love at first sight in this book. As you can tell by the title, it's a really good read, and it's really quick, so I think it'll be good for the class. And we're also going to be reading Cinder by Marissa Meyer, because I haven't read this book in a while, so I can't really remember if it was completely love at first sight by Cinder and Kai, but even if it wasn't, I think we could compare and contrast it to the Cinderella story. That's definitely love at first sight as soon as they see each other at the ball. So I think this would be really good to read. And then finally we would have City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, because let's face it, Jason Clary is pretty much love at first sight. Yeah, they have that I hate you thing going on for like 2 minutes, but yeah. Finally, the last unit we would explore in this class would be hate to love relationships. So for this one, I'm going to choose a cornerstone of like YA and children's literature. It's going to be The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. Because basically, like, everybody knows Percy and Annabeth. Like, they were 12-year-old and they like hated each other so much, and then, you know, everybody knows what happens later. So I think it'd just be really good to read, and I mean, if this course lasted 10 years, we could obviously read like all of these series and stuff, but yeah. So I think this would be really good to read and interact with. The next one we would be reading is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell, because obviously you got Simon and Baz in here, and if anybody's read Fangirl, they definitely know what this book's about, and I think it'd be really something fun to read, and also you get that LGBT requirement in there too, which I think is important, so I think this would be really fun and good to read. Also, this book is like amazing. And then finally we have A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Because I haven't even finished this series yet, and I already know what's gonna happen between Freya and a certain character. Yeah, so that's basically all I'm gonna say about that. I don't want to give any more away. Anyway, that would be Shipping 101, and be talking about all the different relationships, and I think it'd be a lot of fun. Why can't colleges like really like have these courses? Anyway guys, that's been my challenge for day 5 of Booktube-A-Thon, and it was a lot of fun. So comment down below if you liked this video and tell me about your class that you created, and I'd love to check out your Booktube-A-Thon videos thus far. Like this video if you enjoyed it, I would really appreciate that, and I will see you guys all tomorrow for day 6 of Booktube-A-Thon. Until then, goodbye.